Girls, I'm gonna make this real simple. Make your daddy dead. Real dead.
This seem a little crazy.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about Is God Is, which is, I guess, a Southern Gothic revenge film. Although the trailer didn't really sell me on it. It's more that I watch a lot of movies, so this was one of the ones I was probably going to add to my watch list. My son wanted to see it, so we both went and watched it the other night. It is an interesting movie because this is from first-time director Aleshea Harris, who has adapted this from the stage play she wrote from, I think it was like 2015, 2016. I think the director here, and for the most part, her writing is pretty good, but I think her directing is a lot stronger. So it does follow these two sisters, played by Kara Young, who plays Racine, or the rough one, and then she has the upcoming movie I Love Boosters, and she's been on some TV and I guess a bunch of podcasts. And then the other sister, the quiet one, Anaya, is played by Mallory Johnson, who comes from the TV world. And then you have some other bigger names here. Vivica A. Fox, who plays their mother, God. And then you have Sterling K. Brown, who plays their father, also known as the Monster. And you also have Janelle Monáe as well. So the movie initially starts with the sisters working a janitorial job at an office building. They kind of find it hard to keep jobs because of their appearance and how Racine tends to not take a lot of grief from people and puts it back, which gets them into a little bit of trouble. But they do get a letter from their mom, who they thought was dead, and she wanted to see them. And so they decide to go visit their mom on her deathbed because they don't really know what happened to them as kids. They go to visit their mom. They see what kind of state she's in. She lets them know why she decided not to let them know that she was still alive, because she felt that they would be better off without her in their lives, especially in the conditions she's in, and she thought it would be easier for them to, I guess, grow up normal. She has one ask for them, to make their dad dead. And she explains what he did to them, which is a horrendous thing. Even though he wasn't specifically trying to burn the kids, they do get impacted by it as they're trying to save their mother, which then gets construed a little bit later by him in the film. For the most part, it is a straightforward revenge kind of road trip movie. You follow them as they're trying to track down where their father is, because the mother didn't know, but she could lead them in the right direction. And the two twins are meeting different people from his past, coming across other relatives that they didn't know about. And it is a movie that tries to tackle a number of subjects, but doesn't really stick to one particular one or dive into it really deeply. There's, some insights around masculinity and why this guy did what he did. There's a lot of stuff you could take around religion in various different ways. And then family. There's so much stuff going on in this that they don't dive into. They really focus on that revenge plot and these two sisters on this road trip, meeting these people throughout their father's lives and getting to him at some point, which for the most part was entertaining, but it didn't say a lot. It seemed as though that maybe there was a different story that Aleshea was trying to present here, that maybe was on the cutting room floor, or it was really trying to keep to that spirit of the stage play. And so it leaves you thinking what it really is about. There's some interesting scenes in the film that come up and then go away, and you're just like, why was that even here? That doesn't make any sense. I did enjoy the performances. The two leads I thought were great, and all the supporting cast was fantastic. It's just that their story and the drive for everything going on just seems a little lacking. And I think the strongest point of this movie is just Aleshea's direction and some of her shot compositions and how she filmed it, because the trailer made it feel a little bit more grittier than it actually is. Yes, it's kind of a gritty movie, but the trailer seemed a bit more grittier in a more Tarantino style way. And there's some stuff that goes there a little bit, but it doesn't get that deep. But she does have some compositions that are just fantastic to look at. You can see she has a great eye for how she wanted this film to look and the pacing of it, as there are some sections or even the whole movie that probably would have worked if it was in black and white, because there are some scenes where it shows some flashbacks and it's kind of a black and white sepia tone that they utilize. It's not full black and white. If they went that aspect of like, oh, what if we just did this whole thing in a black and white? I think it might have actually pushed the movie story a little bit differently, especially if you're thinking about like good versus evil and the religious components of the film. It is a fun little road trip. You do see these sisters interact, and it's interesting to see how they interact, especially as twins, and also how they both interpret what their mother asking them to do, with Racine being like on board right away, especially after they see what the full extent of her injuries are. And then Anaya, being the more quiet one, being more reserved, doesn't really want to go with this because she's more on the side of, why can't we just forgive and forget that ever happened, move on with our lives? But Racine wants to be able to, I guess, live up to her mother's will and actually make sure that their father is dead. But if you're looking for maybe, hopefully, which will be a up-and-coming director, because I thought the direction here was really fantastic, the look of it and just the compositions, looking for something with great performances and a pretty straightforward story that kind of has a Tarantino vibe, I definitely recommend checking this out in the cinema, and I'd give Is God Is 3 stars.